Hey, it's NPR's Book of the Day. I'm Andrew Limbong. Growing up, my elementary school was a polling place, and it was kind of weird going with my parents to vote, seeing my lunchroom recontextualized, seeing all these grown-ups wait in line in the place where I waited in line for pizza on Fridays. But it's important to bring kids along and expose them to this civic process. That's the idea behind today's book, The Walk. It's a picture book by Winsome Bingham and E.B. Lewis, and NPR producer Samantha Balaban got them together to talk about getting that idea across, not to the parents, but to the kids themselves. That's after the break.
Support for this podcast and the following message come from the Southern Environmental Law Center, the South's largest environmental advocate and protector. SELC is dedicated to tackling the toughest environmental challenges by protecting our air, water, land, wildlife, and the people that live there. Learn more at southernenvironment.org.
Support for this podcast and the following message come from Nissan. Chief Marketing Officer Marstella Marinkovic shares how sneaker culture inspired the all-new Nissan Kicks crossover.
What's unique about the color options is the variety. We do have a two-tone option, so the roof is a different color than the body of the vehicle. The other thing that's really unique is the interior and the stitching. So it's not just the exterior color, it's also how we paired it with interior colors and the details.
Experience the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at nissanusa.com today. Available features not equipped on all vehicles.
This message comes from NPR sponsor ServiceNow, the AI platform for business transformation. AI is only as powerful as the platform it's built into. Enter ServiceNow. It puts AI to work for people across your business, providing intelligent tools to help remove frustration and supercharge productivity. And all of that is built into a single platform you can use right now. That's why the world works with ServiceNow. Learn more at servicenow.com/AI for people.
In The Walk, a child and her grandmother put on their jackets and hats and leave their house.
My granny is taking me on the walk because leaders are not born, she says. They're made through molding and modeling. What's the walk? I ask. You'll see. And there's a few treasured souls coming too.
The pair stops at home stores, even the barber shop to pick up friends and neighbors. The procession grows and grows as the group heads to the polls. Time to vote.
A wave of men stroll outside. They're prepared and waiting. Ready? Granny asks. Yes, ma'am. You know, I thought after 2008, I could skip a few of these walks, but I see we need them more than ever. You right about that, Granny says. And we walk on.
The Walk is a 2023 book by Winsome Bingham and E.B. Lewis. For our series Picture This, they stop by to talk about why a children's book about voting is more important than ever.
The message is clear. We're stronger together. That's the message. I grew up in a community that was about sharing and caring, where if you did something, you get a whipping up the street, and by the time you get home, you still get a whipping, right?
Same neighborhood.
I grew up where that neighborhood went to the polls together to vote. School is out, all the kids in the street. As a kid, I told you this before, I did not realize how important and central that was to my life.
My experience was just the opposite. My parents went and it was a secret almost. And as a result, it took me into my late 20s before I became a voter, you know? So that's the importance of this book. Getting kids to understand what that democracy looks like.
Yeah. Because we think about voting and we individualize it so much, but at the end of the day, one person doesn't elect mayor or school board member or city council or the president. We need a collective community to make that happen, to make that work.
That civil duty and having those conversations. But that's what picture books are about, really.
Yes.
And that's what this book does. Well, my house, at Thanksgiving, the kids were down in the basement, and then you had to be of a reach a certain age to get upstairs at the big people table, the grown folk table. And so this is their opportunity for kids to get to the grown folk table, to get to see what they're doing.
So let's bring in your illustrated storytelling. So tell them, because I love a couple of those are my favorite spreads. So go.
It's one of your favorites, the one that you own now, is the one where the church is in the background. For me, as an illustrator, If you look at any of my books, you'll see what I bring to the table is that I bring emotion.
Facts.
I love the images of the gathering, that line of individuals as it starts to build, young and old. My process of making books is to come up with the thumbnails. And then I travel. So if the book takes place in a particular country experience like that, I will go to the country. In this book, The Walk, I went to Huntsville, Alabama. This little town got together this procession for me. The cops actually stopped traffic for the procession. And I am filming and photographing this procession in each scene along the way in my thumbnails. All those scenes that you see in the book are real. We went to a barbershop and got all the people in the barbershop at that particular time. They actually were part of the book. And what I did to pay them, everybody got a free haircut on me. So it was fun.
You do an amazing job, E.B. That book, when I saw it, I was in awe. One of the things I don't do, I do not critique the illustrators. I'm like, that's E.B. Lewis. You think I can tell him what to do? Like, seriously, you're a professional. You know how to do it. And you did an amazing job.
My idea in writing, because I am writing with pictures, is that I know what images is going to pull the heartstrings. If you flip through a book fast, nothing made you linger. And a great book makes you linger. It's like a great meal.
The oxtail, yeah.
You know, that thing just savors in that mouth. You just savor that flavor. And after the meal, I wanted it to linger in my mouth. Yes. I don't want to wash it down, you know. Let me just walk around with this great flavor in my mouth. That's what a good book should do.
I agree. It should definitely feed your soul. And it's for you to connect, for you to find that one thing. Someone came to me, I was at an event. She says, what's so special about this book is because it's about a community and you're not telling who to vote for. You didn't leave anyone out. You just said the people went, you saw red signs and blue signs. And she says, that's what makes it what it is. It's speaking to everyone.
There's no preaching in this, you know, it's a slice of life. You know, it happens to be centered around voting, you know, what it means to become an adult in a democracy.
Yes.
We assume that children learn from the things that come out of our mouths. And that's just simply not true. They learn from our behaviors.
To me, the most important part is when the little girl asks her, Granny, why do we vote? She says, we vote for hope. And because leaders are not born, they're made through molding and modeling. My great-grandmother always said that. She's never the one to say, do what I say. She always says, do as I do. And that is so profound to me because if we're modeling, right, what we want to see, they're going to pick up on that. And if you haven't been building memories with your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, the kids in your neighborhood, this is a time you can start off with this book talking about family and community and change and hope and progress. This is where you start the walk.
Author Winsome Bingham and illustrator E.B. Lewis talking about their children's book, The Walk. For more conversations between authors and illustrators, you can check out npr.org/Picture This. Our series is produced by Samantha Balaban.
This message comes from NPR sponsor Merrill. Whatever your financial goals are, you want a straightforward path there. But the real world doesn't usually work that way. Merrill understands that. That's why, with a dedicated Merrill advisor, you get a personalized plan and a clear path forward. Go to ml.com/bullish to learn more. Merrill, a Bank of America company. What would you like the power to do? Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, registered broker-dealer, registered investment advisor, member SIPC.
This message comes from Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Growing businesses can cut their cloud bill in half when moving to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. For new U.S. customers with minimum financial commitment, offer ends December 31st, 2024. Oracle.com/NPR.
This message comes from Boll & Branch. Start getting your best sleep with the softest, most luxurious bedding from Boll & Branch. Feel the difference for yourself during their biggest sales of the entire year. Head to bollandbranch.com. Limited time only. Exclusions apply. See site for details.